E qual è stato il riscontro del pubblico? Come ti è
Il
sembrato?
riscontro,
Applaudiva, criticava?
il riscontro è stato buono.
Chiara, Nicola, it's great to see you. It's great to see good friends again, because it's been 3 years since the last time we were together. And and you, Chiara, you came here to work with the institute. We didn't know that you were a celebrity in Italy and all that.
I was not at the time, and I'm not at the present moment. So, but thank you.
No, it's been always great talking to you. And I, as I told you before this interview, we've been following your work. We've been always like a big fans of the group, and I think that the work that you do should be known here in the Americas in general, because I think it's the type of music that you do, and also the message that you're trying to communicate and to portray. I think is very relevant in general for the audiences in this side of the ocean. But before we start talking about your last work, could you tell me, how did you start the group? The group is Kick, no? So how did you pick the name? More or less, how you started working together as a band?
Yes. Okay. First of all, we would like to thank you for having us, and it's a big pleasure also for us. And it's always very nice meeting you. And hopefully we can come back soon there to meet you.
Hope.
Hopefully, yes. So the band was formed in 2013, so a lot of years ago. And the first EP came out in the same year. And then the first record came out in 2016, and it was our first LP. So it was our first record. It was entitled Mothers. And after that, an EP came out after 2 years. It was 2018, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then our last work, which is going to be released very soon. So we, the band formed. The band is actually me, Chiara, and Nicola, and we used to know each other at the time. So we had other bands, and we decided to try to create a band together, to form a band together, and to see what would possibly come out of it. And so we started really as a game, actually. And then we started liking what we were doing, and we decided to take it seriously and to try to release music seriously, basically. And our last single, I believe you were referring to our last single, came out almost 1 month ago.
Yeah.
And it's the first single of the new album, which will come out in November.
In the middle, I think.
In the middle of November, exactly.
So you're now recording, or did you finish recording the?
No, we have already recorded everything. Actually, it was a quite long period, because we recorded in 2020, but we could not. It was not a good idea to release any material in the moment of the pandemic, because we could not perform, and that is the only source of income if you're a musician right now. And so also our record labels would not be very happy if we released an album, but without touring, basically. So we decided to wait and to release single by single. And so we have two other singles.
In the same time, our label closed.
Our whole
label, closed.
Yeah.
So we have to find another labels and work so hard. So we lost a lot of time to recreate a collaboration with label
But we are very happy now, because we have 3 labels at the moment. So
one is a German label.
Yeah, one is a German label. It's based in Berlin, and the other is based in Manchester, UK, and the third one is based in Italy, in a city not far from our hometown.
That sounds like a great advantage, because if you have the labels located in these three different parts of the world that are really powerhouses, I mean, there are places where there are a lot of good music, high quality music, produced and distributed all over the world. I think that you have, as we say in Spanish, sobre el caballo de la hacienda, no? You're riding the horse of the owner, no? Which is good, no? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very nice. We've always wanted to expand, so to make our music make our music heard in the whole world possibly, and so this is really a great accomplishment for us. So we are very very happy of it.
And I discovered that after meeting you, I discovered that Brescia has a lot of activity in general. I mean, it's a small city, but with a lot of activity in terms of creative and creative activity very high, and in terms of music and also visual arts and all the arts in general, no? Or how do you feel about being in Brescia? Is that an advantage, or what? What do you feel?
It's complicated, I guess, because it's a very small city. I mean, the musical activity was higher before the pandemic, and now a lot of venues closed, unfortunately, because of it, and we are left with very very few of them. And also, I mean, the artistic scene in general is not thriving at the moment, but I guess this is the same situation everywhere, basically. At least in Italy, it's almost everywhere. The fact which is good is that Brescia is near to Milan, and Milan has a lot of activity, especially in the visual arts. So maybe there's this contamination between the two cities, which is good. But yeah, I mean, at the present moment it is our base, but it's not obvious that it will be in the future. So.
Yeah, no, but I think one of the interesting things that you're doing is that you're working from Brescia, connecting now with Manchester and Berlin, and so that I think is very good. And tell me about the collaboration, because now you're collaborating with other artists, and specifically in your last single, you collaborate with an artist. Why don't you tell me about how it is to collaborate? Because now everybody's doing that. If you see like the records of all the groups, they're collaborating with hip hop artists, with other artists. So how does it work, or how did it work for you?
Well,
but can I add one thing about Brescia? I think that there is one thing that is good if you live in a little city, that like in Brescia, the cost of life and the house rent is cheap, and you can have a lot of free time to do your art. Brescia is not like Milan, that is a big city that devourate you, take whole of your time, and you haven't time to create art, to create contact. So Brescia is small, and there is meno cosa.
Less things.
Less
activities.
But the advantage is that you can take your time and have free time to do and create.
Yes, you do not have to work at 24/7, basically, like in Milan, for example.
I fully agree, and I know exactly what you mean, because when you're like in cities that are expensive, it's always very challenging, because you have to make money in many ways, and you're distracted doing working in the and even if you're dedicated in making money, that doesn't mean that you're really earning what you need. No? So it's that's one of the complications of modern life. I don't know if this is just a question. The last single, has a bit this idea of the society of consumption, and this idea of a kind of a protest against the consumption and the capitalism and the living of all these big cities, and not only big cities, but the life of the world as it is now. Is it true? How did you get to the theme? Because how did you write the song? Because I saw in credits. Is it yours, Chiara, or is it your Nicola? Who composed the song?
We both did.
Yeah.
Both
did.
together? Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes, together. The bass part is actually created, played and recorded by Scott Reeder, the former bass player of Caius. We are a big fan of him, of his solo work, and also of Caius. So it was really a very big pleasure for us working with him. But yes, it was intended as a protest song in a sense, because what we wanted to express is that, I mean, it's not a very, let's say, it's something that it has been discussed for a long time now, and it is that our society is practically based on false beliefs, on false needs. So the society in which we live tend to create false needs. For example, we do not only have to survive, to earn money, to survive, to have a good education and to eat, for example, or have a house, but we are also we want to. I'm using we, but it's referred to people in general. We are made to believe that we need, expensive cars, that we need to do holidays in the best places all the time, which is not actually that true. I mean, we have to have the latest iPod, the latest phone, etc. And it is something which I think concerns everyone. So it's not that we are above it, we are in it. So it's not like, okay, we are telling you how it should be. Everyone, I think, is involved in this. And there is this sense that capitalism is kind of, I don't know how to express this concept in English actually, but it's going to devour itself. Mm-hmm. So it's going to collapse, and capitalism collapsing is also basically bringing death to the population of the world. So this is what we wanted to express in this song.
Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty clear, and I think that the video also supported very clearly, because the video you work. Who directed the video?
Marco Armando Allegro.
Yeah, because I think it's very interesting because he used like a found footage, footage from different sources, and
it was mainly 85% of found footage, and also some recordings of us moving in the nature, with cows everywhere.
To be honest, the part that I like the best is the moment where you're like doing I think that's so fine, so elegant. No, honestly, because Jimena and I were talking about this, that because the pace of the video is kind of hectic. You have all these images and violence, and then with the sound of the music and the rhythm of the music, you were just doing this, and it's so subtle, so delicate. I think it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, and I love the attitude. You're very good acting, also. How was it to record that, to do the recording of the video?
It was absolutely fun. I mean, Marco is a friend of ours, so it was even funnier. And we were literally surrounded by cows. Yeah, giving us weird looks, by the way, in the mountains. So it was really nice. We spent a whole day with him in the mountains of Brescia, so our hometown, and it was a very funny experience. So and Marco is a really nice person. He's a really nice guy. He's not only a great video maker, but he's also very, very nice and funny guy. So
and I'm a very good drummer.
A very good drummer too.
As well. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's good. So he understands the language and what you need to do for.
Yes, I think it's a plus actually, working with videomakers who also play music, because they can, they have that specific ear and that specific, let's say touch, and they can understand how to perfectly fit together music and video with another perspective. So with the perspective of a musician, and this is not always common. So it's yeah.
Yes, you have a musically sensibility, so we can edit the video with a rhythm, a music rhythm. So
Yeah, I think
for a
that
musical video is good.
yeah, the editing of the videos is really neat. I think that it's one of the main things that you notice, no, that is edited in a very nice way. One thing, because now you're having the album that might be out around November, and then you're going to be touring. That's the idea.
That's the idea.
I mean, if the pandemic allows it, you will be touring. And what's more or less the program that you follow, that you're going to be following in case that the tour comes into reality? So what's the plan?
Before the release of the album, we'll release two singles with two video. In this day, we are realize the second video, and in September, I think we realized the third. And from the middle of November, if the COVID situation allow us, we start to tour. We start with the first gig in our city, in Brescia, in our home, and then we play around Italy, and we hope during the spring in Europe. Yes.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
At least in Europe.
So hopefully we'll be also in England or in the UK and in Germany, no? I guess.
Yes, exactly.
From Germany, I think.
Germany, yeah. Germany is the most likely one because we have the label there, and so it's also easier to move there. And starting from there, we'd also like to tour a little bit more of Europe. So maybe the surrounding countries, and let's see. I mean, we are still working on the tour with our booking agency. So it's a surprise to us at the moment.
Yeah, yes, I understand. And when I think so you released today you released another single?
No, we are going to release it in September.
Yeah.
Yes, but so we're realizing the video for it.
Okay.
We're working on that at the moment.
Okay, super. Okay, you have to let us know so we can
we will
know the people that follows us with us. And so hopefully you will have a tour here in closer here in the Americas, whether
I mean, that would be a dream actually, because we've never been playing in the Americas, let's say. So it would be really nice.
I think that for the taste of the music that they listen, that they hear in Latin America specifically, I think that you would be very successful, because I think that it's exactly in the tone. And just to finish, what do you see, or how do you see the landscape of, how should we call it, like the post-punk scene, or how would you call it, the type of area that you're like exploring with your music? Is it like post-punk, or is it not, or what? Because it's complicated I hate to put things in a bucket, no? I don't like to do like this cataloging. I think sometimes it's useless. But when I was reading about you and checking like the notes, they tend to put you like in this particular category of the post-punk. But is it really or not?
Well, as you said, it's difficult to label, especially our own, work, and we are not big on labels in general. But we have to, at least, box our work to make it more, understandable by people in general. But we try to. I mean, we tend to let other people do this. So for example, our PR agency, sometimes we asked them in the past, what do you think this is? Because we are having a hard time deciding the genre that we are doing, because we have influences, specific influences, and it can be no wave music, post-punk, noise music, also dream pop. But we do listen to a lot of music, and I think that all our listenings influence our work. So it's not really easy to decide a specific label. I mean, sometimes it's really up to people, because someone might hear post-punk, someone else might hear no wave, someone else might hear dream pop. So it really depends on the person, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the change we wanted to make for this record was to be less electronic and more analogic. So we switched to all real instruments. For example, I started playing the bass, which I did not do in the previous albums, and the sound is in general heavier. I would say heavier and more minimal than the previous works.
It's pretty powerful, I would say. No?
Yeah, we introduced the real drum, and we don't use the drum machine, but the real drummer. So yeah, we play a lot of distorted guitar, piano, Rhodes. We delete the computer and we play all instruments.
Yes, we were tired of using the computer, basically.
That's very good. That's very good.
Yeah. Because we work a lot of time with computer during the day, so when we play, we don't play computer.
Yeah, by the way, we wanted to add a more human component to our music, because it was, I mean, it was kind of, I know it's like bad saying this, but telling this, but sometimes I perceived that our previous music was a little bit cold because of all the electronics, and we wanted to make it warmer, more human, let's say. So yeah, that's why we switched to real instruments. And we have been also exploring a little bit with language, because there's also a song in Italian on the record, which is actually our first song in Italian. And so it's we've been exploring in different on different levels for this record, and I hope that people who used to listen to our previous work also will notice this change. This is what I hope.
I'm gonna write lyrics for you in Spanish. So you got a song in Spanish.
That's perfect. That would be actually nice. So the idea, I mean, it would be fascinating to write also in other languages.
In other languages, yes, of course. No, yes. It's good. I think it's very powerful, and I'm really happy to hear from you and to listen to your music, and we're really looking forward to hear about your new album, and hopefully we will have you soon back here and in other places in America. So it's great, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you both. I think that you're my one of my in the list of my favorite people in the world. So, so it's great to see you.
It's the same for us. So really, thank you.
Thank you, and well, see you. Hopefully, see you soon.